So you make over $100,000 as a real estate agent. You're watching this video probably because you may be thinking if there are any other real estate brokerages that could be more favorable to you. I'm going to be ranking all of the major brokerages out there, and you can decide for yourself which is going to be the best for you. My name is Spencer Sue, and I've personally been with eXp for the last 4 years. I've consistently been in the top 1.5% of the country by real trends, and my small team of agents has done over $80 million for the last 2 years in a row each year. By the way, I've been licensed less than 5 years. I hope all of this helps, and if eXp is right for you, let's schedule a time to share how we can help you grow. Now, I'm not going to start in any particular order, and let's begin. Let's start where I first started, Keller Williams. Typically, a lot of agents here start at a 70-30 commission split. That's 70% to the agent and 30% to the local office or brokerage. Now, one of the interesting things that Keller Williams does, though, is they have a franchise fee. Franchise fee is actually 6% on each transaction up to a certain dollar amount. Last I checked, it was about $3,000. Now, this amount is paid to the local office, and the franchise fee is capped annually. Once the cap has been reached, the agent receives 100% of all commissions until they reset on their anniversary date. What I've seen typically is that most have a cap between $20,000 to $40,000 a year, not including the franchise fee, which is usually a few $1,000s. So typically their split is actually closer to 64-36 up until the cap amount. Now they also have this aspect of profit sharing. If you bring in other agents and they do business, you can get a percent from them. Typically it's not commonly talked about because at the end of the day, how does profits work? You have a brick and mortar shop. You have to hire a broker. You pay admins. You pay local people. You may pay an office manager. All those people have different salaries. Once that's done, then the remaining amount becomes the profit. Now, how much may that be? It's very hard to calculate because you don't really get to see the books of the office. They don't want you to know that. So this is why profit sharing is so difficult to predict. On top of that, there's going to be some monthly fees and there's going to be some level of transaction fee. Because of this, I'm going to start this off with a B tier, as in it's just in the middle for now. Let's talk about the next company. It's called Real Brokerage. They have a $12,000 cap with an 85-15 split. Their transaction fee is $285 per transaction. They have an annual fee of $750, a startup fee of $249, and they have a revenue share model. There are also many ways to get ownership in the company. I'm going to label this as an A tier because it is very friendly for the agents. The numbers are very attractive. Now, they are a small company and they've been growing very quickly, but there is a risk for them. The risk is they, as a company, have still yet to show that they can be a profitable business. Take a look at the finances. You can see they have yet to turn a profit. So while they have a lot of opportunity, the question is, can they keep still growing with this cost structure because they're still losing money? That is a thing that is very important for you as a business owner and as a realtor to decide how that company can actually sustain that growth over time. Which is what I'm going to lead it to, which is the third company, eXp. The cap is a little bit higher than Real, $16,000 with an 80-20 split. There's an $85 a month technology fee, $149 startup fee, which is a one-time thing, and a concept of the revenue share model. There's also multiple ways for you to get ownership in the company, just like what Real has, but eXp was the leader of this. So when you do the direct comparisons between this brokerage at eXp versus Real, there are a few differences. Number one, the benefit of eXp is at this stage is a very large company, which means you have the support and the branding that a lot more people know about, right? eXp now has over 90,000 agents, which is absolutely incredible. They've been expanding to places all around the world. I'm going to be going to Dubai in a few months, and we have an eXp office there. Because the branding is also more well known, while the cost structure is also extremely attractive, especially versus other people's alternatives, a lot more are bound to join eXp first. The benefit of this too is because it's a large number, you have the stability of the company. Take a look at the finances of eXp and then look at how it compares to Real. You can see between the two that eXp has been profitable for a long time, which is one of the very few brokerages that are actually profitable. And that's very powerful in this kind of market where a lot of investors are really looking at what is your profit and can you deliver profit consistently while still maintaining a great growth. Because eXp is also larger, they also have the ability to leverage the amount of agents to strike great deals. That's why you see a lot of these partnerships continue to happen at these big levels, because when you have this much of a user base, you have more to leverage back. When people understand about the split structure and the growth opportunity and the revenue share model and the ability to have ownership in the company, all those are reasons why other people from other brokerages move over. It helps you as an agent earn more money while also helping others save significant amount of money. And because of that, of course I'm going to be biased, but I am tracking it all S tier. Next, Century 21. So Century 21 has typically a 6 to 8% fee for the franchise. They have some transaction fee, and you can potentially start at 90-10 if you're a big player and go up to 100%, which is a cap. Their cap though is roughly $20,000, but you may still have to keep paying the franchise fee. It's not so big in the Bay Area, but some of your other markets, you may still see them around. Because of the cost structure, I'm going to put this as a C tier. Coldwell Banker, they scale from 50-50 to 90-10, but it's very case by case. And what's very difficult for a lot of people is not very transparent. Some may base off of production, some how much they like you. And because it's so subjective, especially with all these different offices by cap, it's really hard for a lot of people to really know what's transparent, what's going on. That's why when it came to like Real and EXP, it's great at least that everybody's on the same playing field. You do production and you can easily see where you stand, and especially you have a fairly low cap. And so because of this, we do still have a decent amount of Coldwell Banker here in the Bay Area, but I would probably put this as C rating. Remax. They have a lot of splits depending on the agent production. It starts off at 60-40 and can go up to 95-5. Some will have a cap of $23,000. Now, it's a very similar situation as in the Bay Area. It's not really a player here. Some other markets, you may have it accordingly, but I'm going to put this very similar to the others, a C tier. Berkshire Hathaway or Intero out here. Many of them start off at 50-50 and go up to a 90-10. Usually there's no cap here. That's the interesting part about this brokerage. Now, they have a lot of fantastic agents here in the Bay Area, but because there's no cap, I'm going to put this as a C tier as well and matches the others. Last but not least on the list, I'm going to put up Compass. Compass typically can have a split up to 90-10. In the past, though, what was really attractive is they would either buy out companies and teams, or they would provide a very large marketing spend to offset most of the commission that you'll be paying. But they use it kind of like a use it or lose it type of arrangement. Now, the fact is, if you're doing this kind of volume, it's usually best for you just to bring someone in-house and control the whole experience to have it more customized and have it dedicated to yourself. However, it's got an incredible brand, but it is still widely unprofitable. Take a look at their last quarter. They still lost $47 million in their recent quarter. However, what they have done, which is an incredible job, is they had brought in a lot of top agents, but also a lot of top teams over the last few years. And because of this, they actually have a very decent referral network. And so my suggestion is, this is a little bit different. I'm going to put them as an A tier. Now, the reason why it's an A tier is because at the end of the day, if you're able to have like these kind of exclusive internal referrals, that if you're at another brokerage and you may lose it all, do the math. How much has that been actually generated net? And how does that look like your commission side? Just do a math breakdown. If you were someone that can get a lot of referrals internally and you close a lot of them, stay there. But if you're not, then you really want to do the math and see how much you may be losing out on, because it may be tens of thousands of dollars. Now, to be fair, the caveat too is this applies for all brokerages. So if you're at Keller Williams, you're at C21, if you're at Remax, if you're at XYZ brokerage, if you have a very big referral base within the brokerage that really will not trust you if you leave, then those are some of the examples that you want to do the whole math together and see if it's worth staying. Many companies have come and go. Compass wasn't even a player 5 years ago, right? Like all these things change. So it's for you as a realtor that makes over $100,000 a year, you are in the top percentile of agents. So it's also on your duty for you to understand as a business owner, does it make financial sense to be with where you're at? And to be fair, the busier you are, like myself, I get in contract every week for clients. And so there's no right time because you're always in contract. However, there are always times you have to make the decision, I got to make the move because my long-term will be way better. And that's the decision that you have to make, but that's the balance you have to have. And it's better to do it during quieter times because it only takes a few days to transfer than it is to do it in the busy season. Now, to be fair, things are continuing to change because think about this. Players initially like Keller Williams created this cap. EXP came after that. Real take a small version of that. So at the end of the day, a lot of these traditional ones are doing the same thing. So don't be surprised if you ask them, hey, look, I see this there. I want the same arrangement. And they may offer you that same arrangement, but they can't do it for the overall group, which makes it kind of unfair, right? Like, you may be asking, why does this person have a 90-10 split? Or why does this person have a cap and I don't? And the only way I get it is because I have to ask for it. I hate that lack of transparency. The other question is they can't technically give it to everybody because they have a lot more overhead. Think about this, right? They have to have a brick and mortar retail. They have to have different levels of middle management just for that specific office. They can't bring in people from all over the state. They can't bring in all over the country. They can only be very localized. So these are the things that not only restrict them of what they can grow out of, but also the cost structure is hard to remove. They may cut some middle layers, but you're going to lose a big part of the whole value proposition of what they offered. So be very mindful of the difference. While the caps are different and will likely change, especially for different areas, which brokerages are still growing, which are profitable, which has revenue share to give you money so that you can earn additional residual income yet still help others, which gives you equity and ownership in the company, which are continuing to invest in tools right now, which has the proper scale. As a summary, if you make over $100,000 and want to save more money yet earn more money with eXp, I would love to be your sponsor so that I can share with you how you can leverage our group and masterminds and help you achieve your goals in financial freedom. Book a strategy call in the description below or send me a text at 408-547-4590 and let's schedule a free consultation and get you going. See you next time.